Hi, Tim here from the Thaiger, and welcome to tigerproperty.com. We're going to be doing like a weekly review to keep you up to date with what's happening around property in Thailand. So this is going to be all sorts of different guests from all different parts of Thailand, and today we're going to start in sunny Phuket, and we've got the co-developer of Saitan and the developer of Cherng-Talay. It's Doug Ferguson. Doug, you've been around for a long time.
Coming up for 19 years in July in Phuket.
So you've seen them come and go.
I've seen them come and go, and I'm happy to say that we are still here.
Sure, and we'll have a talk about one of your developments coming up shortly. But can we start by just talking a bit about Phuket generally? How's the market going there at the moment?
Okay, well, obviously during COVID, things were a little bit quiet with people being unable to come or it being difficult for people to come. But we've really seen since the beginning of this year a big pickup in the market. Right.
So interesting you say people haven't been able to come, but do people buy properties through websites like Sight Unseen with that? Because these days you've got the walkthroughs and there's so much technology now.
Yeah, that's been very interesting, and that was one of the things that really kept the market going as we went through the depths of the COVID flight restrictions.
Sure.
And travel restrictions. But since the beginning of this year, things have started to open up, then we've seen the market really starting to fly.
Now, very interestingly, we've got here some FasWas insights, and this is like really detailed information that digs deep into the insights for property around Thailand. Yeah. And I've got some notes here about who has been buying property by nationality this year. Can I start by, where have the inquiries been coming for your side?
So we've seen a lot of Europeans buying, whether they've necessarily been based in Europe or whether they've been based in Asia, but buying, Europeans buying in Phuket, I'm not sure. But we've seen a lot of Europeans, a couple of Russians, and of course still some Chinese Asian interest.
The interesting part, of course, is that during COVID, and even still at the moment, it's difficult for the Chinese to come to Thailand. They were very popular tourists in the past and big buyers. And of course, current situations in Russia have prevented them from travelling as well. And I would have thought that in both cases there would still be some interest from both those nations.
Definitely interest, and virtual viewing has certainly helped. Of course, the big issue for the Chinese is one issue is them going, but the other one is them them going back.
Sure.
Europe is obviously a lot easier. I mean, I was in Europe a couple of weeks ago, and it's over, right? So making travel from there out and back very easy.
Now, of interest, the FasWas insights, guess which is the most popular, the number of people buying properties? The Germans, by far, are the leading buyers of property in Phuket.
Well, I guess if you've been to northern Germany in the winter, you probably understand why.
Sure. Followed, just out of interest, by Americans, Thais, French, UK, Chinese, number 6 there, Indians, British. Thought British would have come under UK, and then we've got Canadians, Austrians. So really interesting statistics there of the people who are buying properties.
Yeah, and I think it's reflective of what we've seen. Right, now we've had French, Germans, Swedes, Poles buying from us. I guess all places where the winter it's perhaps not so attractive.
Sure, this time of the year. Now, another trend that we've noted through the FasWas insights has been this trend to move from the popularity of the ubiquitous 2-bedroom villa, which was so popular, like thousands of them in Phuket, a lot of them with pools. And now there's a move to 3 and even 4-bedroom villas. Why are people looking at these larger properties?
Well, I think you've probably got a couple of things coming together. I think you've got the acceptance of work from home. Okay, so that means instead of having to be based all the time in wherever it is, whether it's Hong Kong, whether it's Shanghai, or whether it's Dusseldorf, you don't have to be there all the time. So that gives you the option to go and live somewhere. So that's, you want to live somewhere, you want somewhere a bit bigger than if you just go on holiday. So I think we're seeing work from home being accepted and people wanting to spend more time. And I think that's what's driving it.
So the idea of 1 bedroom is going to be used as an office?
So yes, that's what we're seeing. We're seeing people looking for 1 bedroom to be used as an office or an office come guest bedroom, for sure.
Another thing I'd like you to address is the perception that the property prices in Phuket in particular have been fairly flat for like almost a decade, but there suddenly seems to be some sort of big resurgence.
Well, I would say that's perhaps for a couple of things coming together. Okay, one thing's for sure, the price of land in Phuket never goes down. As houses again become popular, okay, because for a while condos were quite popular, but as houses become popular, then that requires land, okay? And the land price is up, so the sales price has got to go up. And of course, if the demand is there and people want bigger places, then that's going to drive the price up. Okay. So
interesting, Doug. I know a lot of people, they sort of think of Phuket and suddenly they sort of think of Patong because that's probably the most famous area there. Land mass wise, it only takes up about 3% of the land in Phuket.
Yeah, if that, yep.
And I know when you drive from the airport to a place like Patong, that as you drive, there's just like lots of houses and lots of shop houses and businesses all the way. But you step behind a lot of those properties and it's just empty land. And a lot of that land is not able to be built on. It's like crown land. So there is a shortage of land on the island.
So for sure, I mean, I was on a plane this morning out of Phuket, and you look down out of that aeroplane, and there's an awful lot of green.
Yes.
Okay. So there is building on some of it, but that tends to be concentrated typically in the past around the main roads. But once you get back from the beaches and back from that main road, I mean, there's really some beautiful parts of Phuket. I mean, some really beautiful parts, views over the hills, nice breeze, well, really nice.
I mean, also there was a concentration perhaps 20 years ago when sort of Phuket started booming big time. There was a lot of property building down Chalong and Rawai and in the southern part of the island, and of course Patong became sort of pretty much built out. There's been a move towards properties up into the sort of the Bang Tao and the Cherng-Talay area.
Yeah, for sure. So the Laguna resorts attracted a lot of people on holiday, and those people having been there on holiday, when they wanted to rent rather than stay in a hotel, they wanted to rent nearby. And when they wanted to buy nearby because that was where they knew. And of course there was a bunch of infrastructure by that time there. There was restaurants, of course there's beautiful beaches, right? There's all kind of shopping and all kind of stuff. So, you're right, 20 odd years ago, it was maybe different places, but now it's very firmly the northwest coast of Phuket is the place to live.
So the Laguna Resort, I mean, like it, some people don't like it, a lot of people do. It really was the start of the big property movement and growth in that sort of Cherng-Talay area. Well,
they built those 5-star hotels, right? And that's what drove people to go there. And then, property development started on the back of that.
And the restaurants came and the shopping centres and
absolutely
off it goes.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's have a talk about the Trishada villas, because these are, we actually were there about 6 years ago.
Sure, we did a good video.
Sure, we did a video when I was actually doing some stuff with Fazwaz. But now we've got a really exciting situation for TigerProperty.com, where you've got a new development which is following the trends to these larger villa properties. Tell us how that's come about.
Sure. So this will be our 4th development under the Trishada brand. The first 3 developments, 75 villas in total, we've sold that out, and they are as of kind of the end of this week, all construction is finished.
Okay.
Right? So we're now launching a new project, new development under the Trishada brand, and following the trend of what we see happening around, and as what we've discussed, we're doing similar type of villas, okay, but they're going to be similar finishing but bigger. So that means an extra bedroom or bigger living room, bigger bedrooms, bigger pool, bigger garden. So we're following that trend because we think that's that's what people are looking for now.
So Doug, if you could compare the development that you did, and this is going to be the sort of same concept by a lot of developers, but what you were doing 10 years ago to what you're doing now, where have the trends moved? Is it bigger pools, smaller pools, no pools, bigger rooms, small, what kitchens, bigger kitchens, no kitchens?
So bigger plots.
Bigger plots of land.
Bigger plots for sure. People want to have a bit of grass under their feet.
Yep.
Especially if you've been locked in an apartment in Shanghai for the best part of a month. You want to get some grass under your feet. Bigger
Very
pools.
topical.
Yep. Bigger pools. bigger entertainment areas. So for sure, that's what people are looking for. That's what we're looking for to deliver.
Okay, and complete question without notice. If you were to say that there was one key trend that has changed in Phuket over the past 10 years, one major trend, and the sort of things that potential buyers should be looking for, what would you say would be that major trend that's really affected the change in Phuket real estate?
Okay, so 10 years ago, 20 years ago, everybody wanted to be able to walk to the beach. I've got to be able to walk to the beach. Can I see the beach? Can I see the sea? Can I walk to the beach? People are now accepting that, okay, maybe we don't need to walk to the beach, but what we need to be able to do is we need to have access to restaurants, to shopping. Sure, we need to go to the beach. Yes, we need to go and play golf. We need to go to the airport. So people are perhaps not so fixated with, I need to be within a stone's throw of the beach.
Right.
They're more fixated on, they take into consideration more, okay, it's got to be nice to live, it's got to fit my budget, of course, and it needs to be handy to all of those facilities rather than just the beach.
International schools?
International schools are also important.
Right.
And from that northwest part of Phuket, they're all kind of 25 minutes away. So that's eminently manageable.
Sure. I think Phuket actually has now got a great range of international schools. There's like 6 or 8 of them, like really high-class schools. Okay, so Doug, if people are interested in checking out the new Thaiger properties, and they sound really, really nice, we can recommend they go to thaigerproperty.com, type in Thaiger.
Absolutely, www.thaigerproperty.com, type in Thaiger, and all the information's on there.
Okay, and we've got 3 and 4 bedroom
We've
properties.
got 3 and 4 bedroom.
Is there a broad range of prices?
So they go from kind of 15 to 24, 25 million.
But you're getting a chunk of land as well.
You're getting a nice piece of land, good view, nice breeze, decent pool. Yeah, it's good.
Right, Doug, so let's go through the ownership, because this is always an area where people want to know if they actually have secure ownership. Would you like to address that?
Yes, so certainly, if people are spending $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 on a property in Phuket, they want to make sure that they have secure tenure and secure ownership. And we have a very secure structure of ownership, which includes, but is not limited to, the client owning the villa and having multiple leases on the land and some other ownership on top of that, which I'm happy to go into when people come to see us.
Fantastic. All right. Well, one of the people who have been in Thailand doing property for a long time, a lot of experience, and a gentleman, and it's very great to have you back in the studio after a bit of a long break.
Absolutely. A few weeks skiing this year. Hopefully the same again next year.
Doug Ferguson, who's a developer and also the current developer of Thaiger. And that's our thaigerproperty.com segment for today. We look forward to seeing you next time.